I am Dr. TINY NAIR. I head the Department of Cardiology at PRS Hospital, Trivandrum. Today let us talk about something unusual. If you see the health parameters in Kerala, we are exceptionally good. For example, if you see the statistics, our women literacy rate is 98.5%. Our life expectancy at birth for a lady is 80 plus years. Compare it with the average Indian value, 70 years. So we are 10 years ahead. Look at what we call as infant mortality rate, which is 4.4 per thousand, which is a dream number even for European countries. For example, the average Indian value is 25 plus. So we are exceptionally good at treatment, right? But look at the area of prevention. 25% of Kerala population are diabetic, adult population. 30% has high blood pressure. And about 36% are overweight. So imagine that, 36% overweight. 30% hypertensive, 25% diabetic. Not just that, look at our social values. Of all the alcohol drank all over India, Kerala had a share of 37% of it. The small state of Kerala. So you see, our lifestyle needs to be changed. You might ask why? Because all the heart disease that we see, all the stroke that we see, all the vascular disease that we see are an end result of multiple risk factors. High blood pressure, diabetes, dyslipidemia, meaning high cholesterol, overweight, lack of exercise, and smoking. Let us take the first one, high blood pressure. Why are we focusing on high blood pressure? That is because it is the simplest one to recognize. Any health worker, any physician, any nurse, give them a BP instrument and just about 5 minutes time and you have your blood pressure number. So it is so easy. It is painless and so economical to record blood pressure. So that is why you would see that in every visit, whether you go to a gynecologist, orthopedician, physician, whoever it is, everybody records first what? Blood pressure. And also understand that blood pressure has no symptoms. People come and tell us that I don't have headache, how can I have blood pressure? Blood pressure doesn't have a symptom of headache. That may be in a rare person who has sudden elevation of severe blood pressure, but generally blood pressure has no symptoms. So only if you check it out, you'd know do you have a blood pressure or not. Now we have now realized that blood pressure fluctuates. Okay, so I might be excited, I might be angry, I might be hungry, I might have taken a couple of cups of coffees and my blood pressure may be high. So that is why we say that when you come to the doctor in a clinic, in a busy clinic, you are waiting, you have got into the clinic, you are also scared. The doctor is there, you see so many unfamiliar faces, your blood pressure may be high. So the blood pressure recorded once in the clinic, in the doctor's office, has little value. It may be falsely high or rarely falsely low. Now this falsely high value is what we call as white coat hypertension. White coat, right? The very sight of a doctor or a nurse, the white coat, increases blood pressure. So first thing today, we want to rule out a white coat hypertension. How do we do it? We measure blood pressure multiple times. But more importantly, when we suspect a white coat hypertension, today we have a new method called ambulatory blood pressure. What is ambulatory blood pressure? It is a BP apparatus which is fixed onto the patient, the small one, and hooked onto the patient, he carries it in the belt, and that instrument monitors blood pressure 24 hours a day. So the instrument remains, inflates and deflates, records your blood pressure. You go on doing your daily work, you go to bed, you sleep, but it goes on recording blood pressure. So when the report comes in, we can see how is your daytime blood pressure, how is it when you are hungry or emotionally upset or sleeping or quiet at home. And that gives us a broader picture to decide, do you actually have high blood pressure? Do you actually need treatment for blood pressure? Now, this ambulatory blood pressure has shown us very many things which we were not aware of. And one of them is called nocturnal masked hypertension. What is it? It is high blood pressure that tends to come at night. At daytime, the blood pressure is kind of normal. So if you go to your doctor, he checks your blood pressure, that may be normal. But when you come home and you are sleeping, the blood pressure tends to be high. So this is called a nocturnal, night, or a masked hypertension. Why masked? Because in daytime we don't see it. It might be missed out. Now, ambulatory blood pressure is the only instrument that picks up a masked hypertension. And if we pick up masked hypertension, we give medicines that cover up that night blood pressure so that masked hypertension is controlled. Today we know, for example, masked hypertension, that night hypertension, is one of the major causes for development of dementia. What is dementia? Loss of memory. It is not that somebody suddenly forgets everything. But over time, a person might be losing track of things. Where did I put my purse, mobile, spectacles? What I was thinking about. I was talking something, I forget. Dementia. And one driving cause could be an undetected high blood pressure, especially masked hypertension. Now we'll end up with one more new information, that is heart rate. Ambulatory blood pressure also gives us the heart rate, the speed at which the heart is beating. And what we found out in a large study involving about 20,000 people in India, we were all part of it, we found that the Indian population has a much faster heart rate compared to the Westerners. Right. So compared to the European or the American, Indians have a fast heart rate. We also realized that you control the blood pressure well, but if the heart rate is faster, the benefit is much, much less. The person might still suffer from a cardiovascular disease like heart failure, heart attack, or a stroke. So our aim is not just controlling blood pressure today, but to control heart rate also. So the sum and summary is blood pressure recording is simple. You go to a doctor, he can quickly record it. You go to a nurse, 5 minutes, she tells you whether you have high blood pressure. If you don't go to a nurse or a doctor, you can buy a simple automated BP apparatus, a good one, and tie it yourself and get a blood pressure number. So it's so easy to diagnose. But then understand that in India, only 50% of people who have high blood pressure are diagnosed with blood pressure. And only about 50% of those who have diagnosed that blood pressure are on treatment. And wait, only 50% of those who are on treatment are controlled to the level at which we want. So this rule of 50 is prevalent all over India. 50% detected, of them 50% treated, of them only 50% at goal. So in the treatment of high blood pressure, we are not doing well at all. So let us join hand today, both you and us, to detect and treat high blood pressure so that we can avoid a catastrophic disease like a stroke or a heart attack. Thank you.